Friends, I decided to talk to you about, are twin flames dangerous? I believe there is a tendency on YouTube, on videos, to speak about that it's actually really kind of toxic and not working out and maybe even a cult, all kinds of dangerous, right? So I got three talking points to you that came to my mind when I thought about the idea of twin flames being dangerous. And the first one is this. Do people have a narcissistic relationship because of childhood trauma and proclaim it a twin flame? Well, this is kind of an easy answer because otherwise I would, of course, have never phrased this so incredibly precise. And the answer is yes, that's what people do. It happens a lot, actually. There can be a relationship that might be in a certain way going in the direction of a little bit narcissistic of nature when you look at the psychological structure of it. It can be that one of them is more inclined to give in because they are traumatized or patterned as a child, but it's not healthy, and it can be so much ingrained that you can speak of trauma patterned that they give in all the time to the other person as a child, that is the parent, and as a grown up, that is a wanted relationship partner, right? And the other partner can be very much geared towards, I want to have everything for my own needs, and I don't even see other people. They are not actual external full human beings to me. I only see my own needs and my own wants. And that is what needs to be filled. And the fact that other people are an autonomous being with feelings and boundaries does not occur to them, is not integrated in their psychology. And that is more what they call narcissistic, right? And the other person I talked about earlier can be more like the codependent, or like what they might call a little bit, what do they call it nowadays? I forgot the word. Well, that's also because it doesn't really matter how exactly it's called. I know there are words for these things that are very trendy and people take it on as something good, but that is incredibly debatable as it is. All these patterns come from, well, patterning that is not healthy as a result of childhood trauma or being disadvantageously treated, which causes trauma when it is ingrained so much that it doesn't correct itself. So the other person is more the narcissistic kind of person, and that is also having roots in childhood trauma, because that comes also from not having had, well, proper treatment, not being seen as a full human being yourself as a child. That's why you now treat other people like that. You haven't been seen as a full human being yourself, and that's why your emotional development is stunted to such a degree that it really becomes problematic and ingrained. And that is then another way of patterning that causes more the narcissistic tendencies, let's put it like that. And it comes from, well, sometimes from having this tendency in multiple generations already, and then also from being in a childhood environment, how you are treated, in other words, that doesn't give you any choice or any control. So you are being controlled, which can be all the freedom in the world, which can in a certain way be very controlling, and in a certain setting still be controlling, or it can be very confined as if you're living in a prison. But it depends. It just needs to be a controlling environment. So that's not one form. It can also be another form. And then you might get into this narcissistic patterning. And these kinds of partners attract each other in adult life, because one is tending to give in and the other is tending to take. And that is sort of a fit, and it fits them both. And it can even feel for both of them, because it is so much the childhood patterning for both these partners with these kinds of tendencies. It is so much their childhood patterning. And as a child, we are wired to believe how we are treated is love, because that's what you even biologically expect, but it is not. And that is why, as an adult, when you come into the connection with such a patterned relationship, you get the spark of that this is real love, because you have been treated like that in your childhood. And it gives that spark of magic because of that reason only. And this can be more dysfunctional and less dysfunctional. And by the way, I could talk for hours about this, but the channel is not about that, and I'm also not really interested in going that deep into all the details of it, because it is something that you want to release. So in that sense, I'm not interested in the details of it. Many times when you heal something like this, and everyone that finds themselves in these situations will eventually need to heal themselves completely of these kinds of patterns, you will get to know all the details that it was about. And these are just beautiful revelations that come when you finally completely let all of this go. And these revelations, they are just telling you like, oh, this was what it was. Oh, that was what it was like. And the healing will be accompanied by these insights. And they can be very good. But it's not necessary for the healing itself, because the healing itself is just leaving that behind and entering health, entering harmonious twin flame union, the state of consciousness it is all about. And that is also one of the reasons why you want to go to harmonious twin flame union first, so that you have that high vibration and the relationship vibrate plus relate, as I talked about a couple of videos ago, a couple times. Then you have that start of what can create sanity and the true twin flame, and the continuation of this loving consciousness vibration, etc. forward. And then you will lose all these kinds of patternings and or traumas completely. And you will see what it was like before when you let it go. But the whole purpose is to let it go and to move forward in health, sanity, and love. Love is what that is. And love is what that does. Love heals you, right, from these things. But do many people have the spark of magic and think that they found their true twin flame because they feel the spark, right? This is, the sparks are flying all around and the rainbows are coming in. But is it their true twin flame? It might just be a narcissistic relationship because you have childhood trauma, even though you don't realize that or want to admit that. But it feels so special that you proclaim it to be the twin flame, because that has in some circles become synonymous to the most special or something love relationship that you can have. So it feels special, so there is the label of twin flame. All right. Is that your twin flame? Well, we don't know. That is not how you tell. The twin flame, the true twin flame, is not someone you are in a narcissistic patterned relationship with. The true twin flame is the one that fits you on the soul level. It's one step deeper in your existential makeup of life. It's the one you are created together with as a soul. That's just only that, and that's it. It's only them. You can see that when you can see on that deeper level, not on the psychological level where we speak about narcissists and empaths. Oh, there's the word that I was looking earlier for. in the world of childhood trauma and psychological healing. That's another layer of life. We're talking about a deeper layer of life, where you are eternally your divine identity together with your true twin flame that has been created at the same time as you and has the same soul blueprint as you. When you would be able to see on that more foundational level, then you would see this is the twin flame and this not. Then you would see this is my twin flame and it would be true. But most of us do not yet see that, right? This can be developed, and the first step, of course, is to go to Harmonious Twin Flame Union. Twin flames do exist. It is just your organic architecture of life that is already here. That's what I mean with organic. It's already in the structure of what you are. You can't not be it. That's not possible. But very many people do not refer to that when they talk about the twin flame. They refer to the twin flame because it sounds like a romantic ideal. And they have the magical spark experience in life because of childhood patterning that is coming up in relationship to someone that has a complementary childhood patterning. And it feels like the sparks are flying. And the special word nowadays seems to be twin flames. That's not what it is. But then again, maybe because it could be that on the deeper level you are true twin flames, but you both have strange patternings that you will need to let go of. And it will heal when you follow the course of your harmonious union, but you really need to go there first, and then we can check if it is your twin flame. And then you will go through the healing of this whole pattern. But very many people have this childhood spark, let's put it in short like that, and they think it's a twin flame. For very many people proclaiming that is not true. I also have done that, so I understand, but it's not your twin flame. In very, very, very many cases. Because reacting to this childhood patterning, sparks flying, is not what the twin flame is. But why would you say, do I have all kinds of signs and symbols on my journey while I was dating this narcissistic situation thing? That may later become not my true twin flame, but I persist doing the actual twin flame inner work with the key tool and go to the harmonious union consciousness state, and I arrive and I look back and I'm like, but why did that happen then on my journey? Like that, and why did I thought that it was my twin flame? Because you still needed to resolve that childhood trauma on the way towards your true twin flame. To recognize, to be able to recognize your true twin flame, you needed to work through that pattern of the childhood trauma. To be able to be with your true twin flame, you needed to heal it and get rid of it thus. That's why that happens. So that's how it can happen on the twin flame journey, but when you step into your harmonious union, things will change. The least thing that will happen is that you will connect with source, with yourself, and with them on that deeper layer now. And that does make it possible to see the psychological layer as inside of that and start to release it and heal it. And see that that is not it. That is not how you're connected to the twin flame. Even when you would have that in your true union, that is not the connection glue. That's not what that is. The connection glue comes from deeper, from source love. And that's the only way to get to harmonious union and to sustain that. So I hope this helps a little bit. Are twin flames dangerous? When you are only stuck in the narcissistic pattern and you think that that's where you're going to stay because this is it, and you're going to keep on proclaiming that this is the twin flame and it is twin flame love while you're not in harmonious union, and so you're not sure if it is your true twin flame as well, you are dirtying the word twin flame and holding yourself back for true joy. And you are not moving forward towards harmonious union and your true twin flame. And you're lying to yourself. And if there's a teacher that will acknowledge that for you, then that teacher is a liar and not a teacher as well. So this is a danger in a sense. But when you truly understand what this is all about, what a true twin flame is, and you have made that come true for yourself, this whole other thing is just a nothing. It's not even a discussion. So that may be good to know. 2. Are twin flames toxic towards each other? I think that's also a question that you might ask and that people ask themselves nowadays a lot. And I think that's kind of fair, right? Is it toxic? Because the twin flame, as you may know, and otherwise you will know in a couple seconds, does sometimes have behavior towards you or communication that you don't like, you don't condone. That is really out of order. But did you know that the deeper secret of the twin flame existence is that they are mirroring something inside of you? That they must, when it is your true twin flame. And that means that there is something inside of you that resonates with that experience of being in a communication or in a relationship behavior that you don't like. It must, otherwise the true twin flame can't do that to you, with you, however you want to call it. That's a law that is underlying to twin flames, to true twin flames. And just like in point 1, maybe you have to think about, is this really the true twin flame? That's also something, right? Maybe you just let yourself be talked down. Why would you do that? Right? And then you're like, oh, but aren't twin flames supposed to sometimes also be nasty to each other, right? Oh, now I know that this is the twin flame because they're nasty to me. Well, that's where it becomes dangerous. And you're misusing the idea of twin flames that truly exists. They vibrate in harmonious union, in truth. And you can make that come true in your life when you travel to the vibration of harmonious twin flame union and relate. And within all that, you understand that the whole universe that is manifested, including your body, is an outward reality that mirrors how you're standing in relationship with your inner world of light, your inner world in which you relate to the divine, to your source. And when we look at the true twin flame, this is the biggest mirror of them all. And when the true twin flame is, if it is actually your true twin flame and not a fantasy of yours, they indeed will mirror something that is maybe not nice, so-called, And it must then, for that reason, that they are your true twin flame, show you something that is out of a peaceful relationship in your inner world of light, in your relationship with your source. And that's where you can repair it. And this is also how you can check if it is your true twin flame, because when you have repaired it, they will be in your life. They will still be in your life when it's the true twin flame, and they will now not have that problem anymore in relating with you, while you are just yourself and taking in your space as well in a kind of normal, grounded way, right? With whatever you need to do there to exude what you want to express and manifest as a relational behavior, right? You're part of that exchange, which helps with that change that we're talking about, that you first made in your inside world, and then it must be shown in your outside world as well. So are twin flames toxic to each other? And is that the danger that we're seeing with all twin flames all the time? And it's actually pretty dangerous to be in a twin flame relationship, because you will be mirrored back to you all kinds of nastiness that is unconsciously in your mind. And then they can be nasty. Oh, they can be so nasty. And oh, this is so dangerous and so toxic. Don't do it. Is that true in this story? I think when it is your true twin flame and you truly step into this piece of teaching that I just gave you and make it come true for you personally, then you will experience that it is not toxic, but it is a call for love that you answer because you feel it in yourself, and the world is also yourself, and the behavior of your twin flame is also yourself, and you go deeper because of what you see. It does heal you, and you are grateful because of the deeper healing that you experience now. You feel and you know that that is the meaning of life. It has a deep purpose, and you can only be grateful for that purpose. So are they toxic? In truth, I would say no. But when you would separate the behavior out of the wholeness of what it all is and look at the behavior, sec, and the communication, then it might sometimes look temporarily what we would call in the psychological layer toxic, because it has not been released yet to a deeper layer of love. And that is what happens on the deeper foundational layer that twin flames exist on. This toxic psychological problem that temporarily still exists and that calls you to go deeper to work it out and then be in relationship still with them and again with them, and to see it as released, to see it as healed, to see it as disappeared. That process finds place on a foundational level, and the not yet healed stuff finds itself, you'll find it in the psychological layer, which is another layer of life. Are they toxic towards each other? No, but you have to have the right understanding of what I'm talking about. And you have to sink into the deep reality of what this is to have this all clarified to yourself so that you understand what I'm saying. So I hope this helps. And let's go to number 3. Do you become lawless in harmonious union? Yeah, I'm actually not sure if this is something that people say, but I did come up with it anyway. And I think I did speak a little bit about it maybe 1-2 videos ago when I talked about Jesus, by the way, because I said like he was disliked by the authorities because he had students, and him, including himself and themselves, his true twin flame Mary as well, Mary of Magdala. They were a group that were declaring themselves free, inner free, but also then as a result of that also outer free. And the authorities, they would say like, well, that's kind of dangerous, right? Because now they maybe tend to listen more to their own inner freedom than to our laws and our customs and our traditions and whatnot. And that's dangerous, and that is some sort of a break with tradition and with society that seemed unwanted enough to kill the teacher for it. To make a point, right? To score a point as well about their wanting to be authoritative, right? And preserve the laws. So, but we have that now too. It's not really different. We have a society with ideas of what is allowed and what not, and literally the laws of the country and stuff, you know. You can't park here and you can't steal your food there. So there is a big thing that, yes, you might be even saying that it's like dangerously freeing to come in harmonious twin flame union. I think that's why I put it in this video. It's dangerously freeing you. Because it does mean that you step into a deep inner freedom that only grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And in that freedom, love reigns. And you are together with your true twin flame there. That's all true. And you do accept that as the first authority that you honor. And you're committed to that. And that is a connection with your source that you are committed to and that you're honoring. And you're obeying the laws of your source, of the divine. And that's your concern. And that's why you are in harmonious twin flame union. And that's how you remain being in twin flame union. That's how that works. By prioritizing obeying the laws of the universe. But the real laws, not the fantasized laws, or not the spiritualized, fluffy, I don't know, unicorn laws that are not actually those laws that are meant here. So you do become lawless in harmonious union, and you become dangerously freed indeed. But only lawless in the sense of that your priority goes to the laws of the universe. And it will feel as though the laws of the society that were meant in that statement of number 3 have gone to another plane of reality for you. And that is because you have now accepted your soul truth as priority in life. And that's how you start to build. And your psychological and physical reality of society and social world still exists on the other layer, and you still have a relationship with that, but that's on another existential level now that is of a lesser order in a sense, because you have stepped into your magnitude. That's harmonious twin flame union. You've stepped into your magnitude, and from that position, it is just natural to still have a relationship with the laws of your society, but to experience them in one step lower, let's say, in your psychological layer that you know is still there and stuff, but it's not the layer of your wholeness priority. And that can seem lawless, seemingly lawless, right? You could still conceive of like family members and societal, I don't know, important figures that might view you now as dangerously freed to go to your magnitude level, of your level of soul, where your littleness is not standing on the forefront anymore so much. So their little control on the authoritative topics that they are used to connect themselves to, or something they are not so important anymore. And yeah, sometimes people around you or people in society, they might think that the rules of the society and the laws of the land and the rules of the family and whatnot, they're more important than becoming radically freed up so that you can step in your magnitude and go to harmonious twin flame union. That might exist, that these people find that more important because that's what they're holding on to, you know, that's their security, that's their sense of security. And you might be criticized by that. And that can feel dangerous when you're still connected to wanting to be acknowledged by these forces in your life and people in your life. But in harmonious union, you'll also start to let go of that. And you will see things for what they truly are. You will see the truth of these people, these laws, and you can honor that in a normal way, while at the same time you humbly have moved on to your own magnitude and you have put your inner freedom of harmonious union radically first, nevertheless, while still feeling loving towards other forces in the world. And that's twin flames, maybe dangerously freed up, but not dangerous. Only dangerous to old patterns that people want to hold on to, only dangerous to the ego that doesn't want to let go, only dangerous to people that don't want love. That's what that is. So I hope this all helped you. So I know we talked a lot about if twin flames are dangerous. And I think that you might be very ready to free yourself up and go to the true safe haven that harmonious union really is. And I do have 3 workshops in the spring and the beginning of the summer in 2024 that might be very fit for you right now to go deeper, to do twin flame healing together. It will be incredibly stimulating and I would love to welcome you. I have a link towards the 3 twin flame workshops that will come up real soon. And you'll find the link in the description box below and also in the pinned comment. I hope to see you there, and in any case, in the next video as well. Love from Petra.